10 years ago this week, children at a Greenville County, South Carolina apartment complex came running home with a story no adult wanted to believe. They said clowns were standing near the woods. Some said the figures showed money and tried to lure them to the trees. A resident reported green lights or lasers. Others described whispering, strange noises, and a large clown with a blinking nose near a dumpster. Deputies searched the woods and an abandoned house beside a pond. They found no clown, no hidden camp, no costume, no clear physical evidence. But whether the first clowns were real almost stopped mattering, because within weeks people across the country began putting on masks and making the story real.
Thursday Thrills.
This is Thursday Thrills, a quick weekly ride into the creepy stories, haunted places, weird obsessions, and eerie little corners of the world worth talking about. I'm your host, Enrique Couto. Tonight, on the 10th anniversary of one of the internet age's strangest panics, we are going back to the woods behind Fleetwood Manor Apartments. This episode arrives on August 20th, 2026. The first major Greenville County police report was made on August 21st, 2016. 10 years ago, exactly. Were there ever really clowns hiding in those woods, or did America become so frightened of the story that people began putting on costumes and turning an uncertain rumor into a real threat? Fleetwood Manor was not a crumbling mansion with lightning over the roof. Despite the name, it was an ordinary apartment complex in Greenville County. Families lived there. Children played outside. Behind the property, a man-made trail crossed a wooden area and led toward an abandoned house beside a pond. On the evening of August 21st, deputies responded after residents said children had seen someone, perhaps several people, in circus clothing and white face paint near those woods. The most alarming claim was that clowns had displayed large amounts of money and tried to persuade children to follow them deeper between the trees. A woman told a deputy that her son had seen clowns whispering and making strange noises. I'm not sure what a strange noise is for a clown, but that does make me curious. According to the report, she said she went to look and saw figures flashing green laser lights before they ran away. Another resident described a large clown with a blinking nose beneath a light near the garbage dumpsters at 2:30 in the morning. The clown waved. She waved back. The figure didn't approach her. That detail is so strangely ordinary that it makes the story scarier. A wave should be friendly. At 2:30 in the morning, from a silent clown under a dumpster light, it becomes something else entirely. The children reportedly believed the clowns lived in the abandoned house at the end of the trail. A deputy checked it and found no clothing, no sign of occupation, and nothing connecting the house to any of the sightings. Management warned residents, parents were urged to supervise children, and police increased patrols. Those responses were verified. The clown claims, not so much. Investigators had frightened residents and uncertain accounts, but no photograph, costume, identifiable suspect, or physical evidence, not even a rubber chicken. Some witnesses declined to give police their names. Retellings varied on how many clowns appeared and exactly what they did. 8 days later, a teenager at another apartment complex reported seeing a man photographing children, and then a person in a clown mask emerging from the woods. More calls placed clowns near roads, laundromats, and apartment buildings. Officers responded but again found nothing that substantiated the sightings. The mystery was still local, but the story was learning how to travel. Local television showed the tree line, the trail, and the apartment buildings. News sites repeated the police report. Facebook posts condensed a complicated situation into one sentence built to spread. Clowns are luring children into the woods. The qualifiers fell away. Children reported became clowns are. A claim became a warning. A warning became proof that the thing everybody was sharing must already be happening. The internet had been primed for the image. Earlier that August, photographs of a dirty clown holding black balloons beneath a Green Bay overpass went viral. The clown, called Gags, was later revealed as part of a local filmmaker's campaign for a short horror film. It had no proven connection to Fleetwood Manor, but it showed how easily a staged clown photograph could become news. Now every blurry image had a ready-made story. Every distant figure at a tree line could be the next sighting. Every prankster with makeup, a mask, and a phone had the equipment to join in. Reports appeared in other towns and states. Some were mistaken identities. Some were hoaxes. Some never advanced beyond a post. Others involved real people deliberately dressing as clowns to frighten strangers. And each new report made the earlier ones feel more believable. 10 unrelated stories do not prove one another, but when they arrive in the same costume, on the same screen, inside the same week, they begin to feel like one organized event. There was no evidence of a coordinated clown invasion. Coordination was unnecessary. The story supplied the costume and instructions. Stand near woods, appear at dusk, refuse to explain yourself, and let somebody else post the picture. By September, the legend was not merely spreading, it was recruiting. On September 23rd, a police officer in Middlesboro, Kentucky, spotted a person in a full clown costume near a wooded area by an apartment complex. This time there was no vanishing figure. Police arrested 20-year-old Jonathan Martin, cited him under a city face-covering ordinance, and charged him with disorderly conduct. He also had outstanding warrants. A month after South Carolina children reported a clown beside apartment complex woods, an actual man in a clown suit was found beside apartment complex woods. That may not have proved the first story. It proved someone had learned the part. In Flomaton, Alabama, social media accounts with names including Flomo Clown and Shoota Clown sent threats to students. Schools locked down. More than 30 officers went to campus, and investigators worked with the FBI to trace the posts. Authorities identified an adult and a juvenile connected to the accounts. The adult was arrested, and the juvenile had charges pursued. There may never have been a clown physically waiting at school. The threat still frightened families, disrupted classes, consumed police resources, and carried real consequences. Ohio offered the panic in two forms almost side by side. In Reading, a reported clown assault and threat against a school led the district to cancel classes on September 30th. That report remained under investigation at the time. The next morning, in a separate case, an 18-year-old woman claimed a knife-wielding clown had attacked her. Police found inconsistencies and she admitted inventing the story because she was late for work and feared losing her job. I'll give her an A+ for creativity. She was charged with making a false alarm. A frightening report could close schools, but a false report could imitate it before police had even resolved the first one. Make sure you're following Weekly Spooky on your favorite podcast app because every Thursday we bring you another thrill. And share this episode with someone who remembers exactly how weird the fall of 2016 became. Things get a little more intense when Penn State got involved. On October 3rd, social media rumors claimed a clown had been seen near campus. At least 500 students poured into the streets for a chant, all shouting, "Clown Hunt." Campus police reported no credible threat, no injuries, no damage, and no actual clown, except an image projected onto a building. 500 people had mobilized to hunt a rumor, wearing face paint. The absence of a clown no longer prevented a clown event from occurring. Institutions changed plans. Police warned against threatening costume stunts. Schools restricted clown outfits. Target reduced its selection of clown masks right before Halloween. McDonald's said Ronald McDonald would keep a lower profile at community appearances because of the climate around clown sightings. When Ronald McDonald has to lay low, the panic has officially escaped the woods. By October, reports, threats, warnings, and copycats were appearing in Canada, Britain, Australia, and elsewhere. British police warned that using a clown costume to intimidate people could be treated as a crime. Of course, they'll treat anything like a crime if they want. The pattern survived every border. A mask, an ordinary place, a frightened witness, a social post, and police trying to determine whether a threat existed behind the performance. The earliest reports may never have been proven, but the fear inspired real people to become the thing everyone was afraid of. This wouldn't have worked with almost any other costume. A clown face is designed to communicate emotion from the far side of a circus tent. The smile is permanent. The eyes are exaggerated. The person underneath is hidden, but not completely. You're looking at something human whose real expression has been painted over. A 2016 study of more than 1,300 people placed clowns among the occupations most associated with creepiness. The researchers linked that feeling to unpredictability and uncertainty about whether danger is present. That is exactly what a clown at the edge of the woods creates. At a birthday party, the costume has an explanation. At a parade, it has a route. Under a spotlight, it has a job. At a tree line after sunset, it's a familiar childhood image behaving very incorrectly. By 2016, horror movies, viral prank videos, and characters such as Pennywise had already taught audiences how to finish the picture. The clown did not need to chase anyone. It only had to stand there, while imagination supplied the rest. So, was there really a clown behind Fleetwood Manor? Several possibilities remain, and none can be proven from the public record. A prankster may have disappeared before deputies arrived. Children and adults may have understood somebody's clothing or behavior in the dark. One real but harmless sighting may have absorbed unrelated rumors. Several teenagers may have played separate jokes. It may have begun as a hoax, or frightened children, parents, and repeated questions may have assembled a shared story from uncertain pieces. More than one explanation can be true. That is the trap at the center of the 2016 clown panic. Once copycats appeared, every genuine costume made the original claims seem more real. Every hoax made police more skeptical of the next frightened caller. Every arrest proved somebody would do this without proving who, if anyone, had done it first. Rumor, performance, fear, and genuine intimidation folded together until separating them became nearly impossible. 10 years later, the most important part of the story may not be whether the first clown existed. It may be how quickly modern urban legends can stop being only legends. Once a scary story had to survive by being retold, but now it can be photographed, reposted, imitated, threatened in a school message, acted out beside a road, and copied in another country before investigators finish checking the first location. The legend can recruit participants while the facts are still being searched for. Maybe there was never a clown waiting in those first South Carolina woods. Maybe there was, but once the story escaped, people supplied their own costumes, threats, hoaxes, and endings. The legend did not need to be true, it only needed enough people to believe it, and enough others willing to become it. Imagine one last ordinary neighborhood at the end of a summer evening. Apartment windows begin to glow, children being called inside, cicadas humming as the final daylight drains from the sky. Beyond the grass is a wall of trees, and just where the woods begin, there may be a shape brighter than the shadows around it. Too far away to identify, standing perfectly still and smiling. Whether the person inside is smiling or not. I'm Enrique Couto, and this has been Thursday Thrills. Drive safe, keep your headlights on, and if you see something brightly colored standing at the edge of the woods tonight, don't follow it between the trees.
Come back tomorrow for more fear. Until then, lock your doors, as if that will help.